Dr. Roxiga, Dr. Roxiga, Dr. Roxiga, he is here, he is here.
Good evening, Noel Gallagher.
Good evening, Noel.
All right, lads. How you doing?
How are you doing? Are you alright?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. Are you still on tour at the moment? Or is that all finished?
No. I was in Bournemouth last night. I've got a night off tonight. Liverpool tomorrow.
You're in Bournemouth. What sort of age group do you get there? Like 80-year-olds tipping up?
It's kind of, it's the extremes of society. It's either very young or very old. There was quite a few punch-ups in the crowd as well last night.
Was there?
Yeah. I don't know why.
What, while you were on stage or beforehand?
Yeah. No, while I was on stage. All during the acoustic numbers, funnily enough. I don't know what was going on there, but, you know.
Someone tweeted me a question, because we do the Ask Noel thing a bit later on. So someone said something to do with, are you still attracted to microphone stands? Does that mean anything? I have no idea what they're talking about.
No, I've no idea what they're talking about.
Okay. And then they hashtagged Bournemouth. I don't know what that means. Maybe...
That's as ludicrous as the story about the spider jumping out of the flight too.
Yeah, no, I read that. Nothing true in that at all?
No, not in the slightest bit.
Well, so why does that story exist then and get on page 3 of a national newspaper?
I've no idea. I don't know. I really don't know. There's like, a huge spider with green fangs. Green fangs? It's not Scooby-Doo.
So,
you know what I mean?
Okay, was there a spider of any sort?
No.
Oh, that's really the end of my questioning then. So the whole story was fabricated?
It must have been. I mean, I spoke to my crew and they were like, never happened.
I wouldn't mind it was a decent story.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Well, even in the made-up story, it said, and this all happened before Noel Gallagher arrived. So the made-up story didn't even contain Noel.
No, it's just nonsense. What paper was it in again?
It's in the Sun.
It's gone.
Oh, well, fair enough then. Must be true.
Right, listen, we've got loads to talk to you about, because the last time our listeners heard you was on the podcast that you kindly did for us. So we've not spoken to you from the start of the season. So we've got the transfer window closed. We've got 3 games here to talk about as well. And we've got the Champions League draw. Where do you want to start?
It's up to you.
Let's start with new signings, in and out.
Yeah, for us or...
for City, yeah. You got 5 on transfer deadline day. Richard Wright, Scott Sinclair, Jack Rodwell just before it.
The 3 English lads are weird ones. Jack Rodwell is a strange... Scott Sinclair is an odd signing. Richard Wright, whatever, I think the Garcia one is going to be interesting, because it's really sad to see, I've got to say, it's really sad to see Nigel de Jong leave. He's a true City legend, proper warrior, and, we wish him all the best. But, yeah, we need somebody sitting in the middle of that midfield. We don't look as solid without Gareth Barry or Nigel as the season's unfolded. But I think the signings have been okay, but I don't think we really needed much, do you know what I mean? The champions, we didn't really need a great deal.
No, the squad itself is strong enough, but do you think it's stronger than when the season you finished last season when you won it, when you look at the whole squad as a whole?
Adam Johnson's gone as well.
Yeah, Johnson Sinclair, that's a straight swap. If Johnson can't get a game, how's Sinclair going to feel?
Yeah, well, Johnson didn't really figure that much, but I think on paper the squad is stronger, but I don't think the system is as strong as what it was last season. I think we played to our strengths last season, but he's obviously trying to work out a system where he gets Aguero and Tevez on the pitch at the same time. So that's going to take a bit of bedding in. And luckily for us, the teams around us haven't really hit top form yet. So the season really starts after the international break, I guess. But it looks like we do miss Aguero, but I think he's had to tinker with the system to get Tevez and Aguero on the pitch, and you would, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? You'd have to.
Well, by doing that, you're now playing 3 at the back, which he reverted back to 4 at the back with QPR at the weekend, but I was quite surprised, actually, the amount of goals you've leaked so far. 2 against Southampton, 2 against Liverpool, 1 against QPR.
Yeah, I think, me too. I've got to say, it doesn't look as solid, and it doesn't look as Jack Rodwell's playing that holding midfield at the minute, but he's not. He's better going forward. Nigel would just sit there and kick lumps out people all day, you know what I mean? And we kind of, and we're missing Gareth Barry as well, because he's the glue that holds it all together. But I think once we've got the full lineup back, I think we'll be all right. This 19-year-old defender excites me, because at least we've got cover now if either Vinny or
Mustavic.
Scott. Yeah, I like him. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be great. You know, who knows?
What have you made of all the other sides in the transfer window?
What, on the other side of all the other teams?
Yeah, I mean the ones that are going to be challenging.
Yeah,
who are going to be challenging?
Well, I think it's between City and United. I think every time Chelsea come up against anybody decent, they'll get taught a lesson like they did the other night against Madrid. I think they'll do well against the other teams. But
have you changed your mind in the podcast we did before the season? I think it was about 3 weeks before. You said United 4th and Arsenal live at 3, and then City 1, and I think it was Chelsea 2. Would you change that?
Yeah, I mean, that was before United bought Van Persie, and it's like on Sunday watching that game, and then, you know, you've seen Southampton and thinking United aren't going to get anything out of this, and, you know, he's won them the game. And I think I'd swap United and Chelsea, and I think it's going to be between the two. I think it's between City and United again. I think Arsenal will finish third because, funnily enough, they look really good at the minute. They just can't seem to put the ball in and out on a regular basis. But they did look great against Liverpool, which admittedly is not difficult at the minute.
I was going to ask you about your views on Liverpool. What have you made of them so far?
I think I've got Liverpool fans in my band, and they are at the lowest I've ever seen them. They're just really they're in shock at how the club has been run. They're really in a bad way, you know. But I don't, you know, how they've let Andy Carroll go, and now they're like scratching around trying to get a free agent striker for Liverpool FC. Like the mighty Liverpool that's incredible. Do you know what I mean? To think, but Liverpool supporters are not happy. I don't think. I listen to them on the talking sometimes, and they seem to be 50% blaming Brendan Rodgers, which I don't think you can. He's barely had anything to work with there. But I think they're going to struggle to, you know, they seem to be passing it around for fun and all that, but it's kind of going anywhere, you know.
I mean, to allow that to happen, one striker leaves, 24 hours later the window shuts. And
crazy.
Brendan has asked the question directly, and to be fair, he answered it very as straight as he could. No, I wouldn't have let him go. It's a shambles.
Well, no, totally. I mean, I watched his interview. He said, "Look, I give the list of names in. Then it's up to the people that kind of run the club to do that. And there's no way you would have let Carroll go if he wasn't, you know, if they hadn't said to him, "We'll get Dempsey, don't worry about it." But you feel for him because he's about to find out what it's like at the top now. Because that's fine if you're managing, you know, the likes of West Ham's or Everton's or, you know, kind of mid-table sides, but he's going to find out how tough it is now up there. And I don't know, I can see it being a struggle for them until January.
What about your favourite manager in the Premier League?
He's just never disappoints with it.
There's already a smile on your face now, isn't there?
Where would we be without him? I have to thank Daniel Levy for bringing him back to British football, because he doesn't know what a service he's done. It's like when you just hear him when he's asked a question and he just goes, that's how it's like. It's just one noise, and he's just like, one can only wonder what it's like at half time when it's 0-0. He's just pure. He's just comedy bounding. I love him.
Should Spurs fans be worried then?
You
were doing your impression of him there.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. See, they're in that weird position where they finished 4th last season and a great season, and he's gone and actually, you know, taken a machine gun to the entire squad. So they could finish as low as 11th. Or they could finish 4th again. You just don't know. You know what I mean? He spent 12 million quid on a goalkeeper that he didn't need.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Crazy.
I mean, he doesn't need him this year. I mean, you know, he's 41, Brad Friedel. So at some.
I think Brad Friedel will slowly but surely be phased out.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's what. But I don't think that'll happen over the next month. I think.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what he's bought that for. But seriously, 12 million for a keeper he didn't need. Surely they could have topped up Moutinho's wages and got him. You know, I mean, they don't need a keeper until like next season. I mean, Brad's 40 now, so he's got one great season left in him, you know. But I think he's just madness what's going down there. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Let's turn our attention to Champions League. What a draw again.
Oh!
What a draw. City, Madrid, Ajax and Borussia Dortmund.
Well, this is a proper Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the group, it's like old school European Cups, the group of champions. But it's great. It's great for the supporters. It's not great for the manager, because he's under pressure straight away there.
But is it great for the sport? Because when the draw was happening, I remember you saying to me, you know, what a draw, over the moon. But I'd rather have United's draw, because surely the name of the game is to get out of the group and progress. And the chances...
Yeah, but you lot have won the Premier League so many times. You're obsessed with that competition, so good luck to you. We're just all there on a jolly up. You know what I mean? It's like nobody outside of probably Mancini and the chairman are expecting to win it. We're just looking at the away trips going Madrid, Amsterdam and Dortmund. That'll do.
Yeah, Amsterdam. I can't imagine what you'll be like there.
Well, apparently it's a bit of a party town.
but it's one thing saying that, and I know exactly where you're coming from, but from Mancini's point of view, the Champions League is a competition he hasn't done particularly well at as a manager.
Well, he's done it once.
No, but I'm talking about even before.
Him, you mean?
As a manager.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just wonder, because if they're anything like Chelsea's owners, once they start achieving things, Man City, they won the Premier League, the next thing is to go and win more Premier Leagues and win the Champions League. I think he's got to get out of this group.
I think we will. I think we'll finish second. Easy.
Do you? At the expense of who?
I think we're better than Ajax and Dortmund.
Yeah, I'd go along with that.
Okay.
I'd go along with that.
All right. Yeah.
Dortmund have sold their best player to United. Ajax, they're good in Holland.
Yeah.
They'd be 11th in the Premier League, no question.
Yeah, the Dortmund away is going to be that could
one.
decide whether you go through or not. Dortmund away.
Yeah, I mean, look, the first game sets the whole tone. If we go to the Bernabeu and get a point, you know what I mean? We could, and in the same way that our first game last season set the tone, we got on to Napoli, and it kind of went. It was a comedy of errors from there on. Do you know what I mean? So, I think I think we'll get out of the group. And what's good is we'll be battle-hardened when we get out of it, because we're effectively playing knockout football from the first game. You know. So.
Have you checked the tour dates for the Madrid game?
Well, funnily enough, I've got a night off the night of the Madrid game, so I've got 2 days to get from London to Bangkok, so I can fly. I've made it work, so I can fly to Madrid and then fly straight from the match to Dubai, and from Dubai to Mogadishu, and then from there to Alaska, and then get a ship and arrive in Bangkok, and then arrive in Bangkok 4 hours before I took off. But it's going to be a funny gig in Bangkok. If anybody wants to come along, it'd be interesting. But I'm not missing City walking out of the Bernabeu for anybody.
No. Right, so on a serious note, though, do you have a gig that night?
No. I've got a gig on the 20th, so it's kind of worked out brilliantly.
Oh, okay.
But I could have mysteriously come down with laryngitis.
Would you have done that? Not the laryngitis thing, but for that game, because it's such a huge game. Away at the Bernabeu, I've been there before. It's just an unbelievable place.
I would have gone through the list. Is it sold out? Do they get Talksport in Thailand?
You can.
Anybody?
You can.
You can now.
You can now.
Yeah.
So, no, I probably would have done the gig.
Okay.
With
a big TV screen below you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've done gigs before with computers on the drum riser, actually watching the football.
No, you haven't.
Absolutely, yeah. It's got to be done, mate. They don't care.
Does that affect your performance if you see City lose 2-0 and you're in the middle?
Where were we? I can't remember where we were. City were might have been away to Napoli, and there was kind of an iPad on the riser, and I think we scored. I think I might have shouted, "Effing get in" down the mic.
People going, I don't remember these lyrics.
Yeah,
I think Noel's making up as he goes along.
He's his own biggest fan.
Right, listen, before we let you go, we've got some Ask Noel questions for you.
Okay.
I say we have. Jay, have you got any?
No.
Oh, okay. You just have to either make them up.
I'll make it up.
Or go along with mine. This one's coming from, I have no idea. PB8 is his name on Twitter. I don't know. What do you wear in bed?
I wear a knowing smile.
Are you a naked sleeper?
Depends what the weather's like. If it's cold, no.
Tonight, what will you be wearing in bed?
Oh, tonight I'll be wearing a donkey jacket.
Okay. Now, Darren...
Skiing goggles.
Is that at your wife's request?
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is.
Darren Johnson has asked, we asked you this about a year ago, and you replied Bono. I don't know if the answer's changed. Who's the most famous person in your phone book?
Bono's always right up there, obviously because he comes under B, so he's always right up there. Who's up there?
This reminds me, while you're thinking of that, we once asked you who's the most famous person to come round your house. Do you remember what you answered? You said Nelson Mandela, and I said, what did he say? And you went, I was out. No, thank you so much for coming on.